Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Heart Podcast on Cosmic Heart TV. Today's guest is not only a CEO, she is a living bridge between ancient wisdom and modern business. She is an alchemist in the truest sense of the word, transforming pain into purpose, intuition into enterprise, and spirit into strategy. As the founder of a luxury wellness brand rooted in tradition, intention, and healing, she brings depth to everything she touches. Her work honors the old world, herbs, ritual, spirituality, while boldly navigating the new one. Entrepreneurship, leadership, and digital influence. She is a woman who has lived many lives within one lifetime, a student, a survivor, a seeker, a builder, and she carries those layers with grace and clarity. Her voice challenges systems, softens hearts, and reminds us that success does not have to cost us our soul. Today we are diving deep into her story, her faith, her philosophy, and the truth behind what it means to build a business and a life aligned with spirit. Please welcome Icez, the Infinite. Hi. Okay, so can you wait? I think you're muted. Can you hear me here on this?
Yes, I can hear you. I just
Okay,
unmuted it. I have to look for it.
you're okay. You look very beautiful.
Thank you. You do too. And then I noticed that you had the same moon thing I got in my room in one of your videos. Vibes, vibes.
Really? Which
Yes.
oh,
The moon
I
phase,
yeah.
long.
Yeah, I think I got it from Sheen or something a long time ago.
Did you? I got it from T Moon.
Yeah, I one of them. I got a bunch of stuff from both. Are you good? Is everything you got everything settled?
Yes.
Okay. I really want to, when you're ready, I really want to open up the space for you to really talk about what brought you to where you are now, because I can tell just from I don't read too much into you just because that's your business, but I can just tell that you've been through a lot to get to where you are, and I just want you to have the ability to share. I know you knew inside you had a mission, but what really kept you like pushing to get to this point now?
I've known that God, like everybody has their debates on who's right, Christianity, spirituality, people and religions and things. I've always known there was a higher power that protected me. And it was the thing of knowing, because I was in situations that different kids weren't in. Um, I had issues. My mom wasn't a bad person, great person, still in my life, about to move into my guest room actually. But we were separated from her and taken to foster care,
Wow.
and we were in a lot of situations where we were not supposed to be okay. And
Mm-hmm.
somehow things just kept being okay. So we got to our aunt's house, our Aunt Martha, and she kept us until we were able to move out and, grown and everything. And she took us to church, and they would start to describe how God works. And maybe that's God then. Maybe the things that are going on is God. And a lot of the things, when you go into foster care, you get a lot of interviews and things. And I was put on different meds because I was telling them like, oh no, God, like this is this and this is, oh, I can see. I know that because I seen it. My mother ended up having an incident where she got stabbed in her face by a man that left her. And the night before, I was like,
Wow.
hey, we gotta go get mama because somebody's gonna hurt her. I can see it. I can see it. So that
Wow.
threw me into being heavily medicated, talked about, people didn't want to deal with a child with so much baggage in their brain.
Mm.
And so my aunt started taking us to church, and the power that I knew of, they started calling that power Jesus. So I started talking to that power. Hey, Jesus, this is this and this is this. And I was walking down the street one day. I'll never forget it. I was walking down, this is fast forward, I was a teenager. And I was trying to help someone. And the person ended up deciding, I didn't want your help. Like, I wanted someone else's help. And I didn't, so I was stuck where I was walking. It started raining. And I was like, Jesus, can you please help me? I don't even have anywhere to go. I came all the
Yeah.
way here to help this person, risk it all. And they did what they did to me. And now I'm stuck.
Wow.
It was like the second I looked up, There was a woman in a green van. She stopped. She said, "Hey, Jesus said you need some help." And I was like, I stood in the rain for
I just
five
got
extra minutes.
chills.
Yeah. I stood in the rain for extra 5 minutes just staring at her. And I was like, because I'm thinking to myself, now this might be a demon. I don't know what, maybe that, because you know, in
Yeah.
church they tell you that demons will come and then they'll try
Fear
to use
monger.
you. Yeah. So I was like, oh God. Like, and so she was like, can you get in the car so we can go? Like, it's rain. Come on, I can help you. Yeah. And so from that moment, I knew, like, I already knew that something happens when I call this power that has been protecting me this time. And
Yeah.
something happens. And of course, I went on with life, but I could see. So that was bad. Everyone, Black people don't play that.
Yeah.
All that you can see, spirits come talk to you, ancestors come talk to you. You might as well get ready for it because they don't play that. So
Yeah.
it was really hard. It was a lot going on, and I always tell people now, fast forward to today, like from being heavily medicated like that. Those were claims back in the day. Those were not. People didn't see what you seen. They didn't fast to know what you know. They didn't have you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't purify themselves to be able to. So when you said stuff like that, you were a disgrace to the family. You were just embarrassing everybody. You were retarded. You were this, you were that. So ultimately, I was taken to the doctor. Let's drug her up. Let's drug her up. And of course, taking those meds that kept me high and sleepy for years, it made me a raging weed smoking alcoholic, wig wearing, gun toting, human. And
Yeah.
and it got to the point where I was in situations all the time that there is no way I should be alive. Like at this point, God, what do you want from me?
Right.
There's no way I should be alive right now. And that's at the point where I decided then in 2020 to do my first 30-day fast. At
Mm-hmm.
that point, I was like, God is giving me too much, and I keep walking around ignoring everything. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do my first 30-day fast. And when I did that, every ability that God gave me, just it. And it's been like that ever since. It's been like that ever since. At first, it would be things I couldn't control or things that I didn't want to see. And now, as of 2020, I had to just realize, like, no, I'm here. I can't
Yeah.
leave. I can't stop seeing it. I can't. And that brought me to tea because I was telling God and telling myself, like, I'm getting messages confused and everything because I'm a
Yeah.
raging alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I'm drinking a lot all the time, and it's because I'm hurt. It's because
Right.
I don't know what I feel like. I never felt sober.
No,
I'm the
that's
kid in the
hard.
class high off Adderall and sleep. I never felt sober, so I was so scared to feel sober. And when God started putting, because I'm a traditional healer. Any herb I have, I heard it before I knew about it. Normally, I'm coming out of a dream and I'll see something, and then God's voice will say, like the last one was rose. I already had roses, but I was crying and I was heartbroken. And I went to sleep. I looked totally different. I had ginger hair, a bow and arrow, and God said, Rose. I started drinking rose tea, and that's how I got to Scarlet's Inn because rose petals literally heal your heart.
Yeah, they
And
have the energy of love.
yes, and I never knew that, and a lot of these things I don't know on my own. So my life just made it to where there's no other explanation. It ain't me.
Yeah.
It's not me doing it, and it saved my life because I'm free of everything now. I don't do
Beautiful.
anything now. I have my tea. I have my herbs. Like I don't do. I don't have to do something that I hate to do every single day to feel like a normal person. It's nobody but God. Nobody. I couldn't have done any of it. And so that's
Congratulations.
it's really, thank you. It's really a big walk of faith that
That's
made me,
huge.
yes, and thank
Like,
you. And
really.
it's almost unbelievable to me because I was so scared of other things like people that quit drinking, how they make it their personality.
Yeah.
Every day 743,062. And I'm like, God, please, I don't want to be stuck with it in any way. And I don't even know how long I've been sober. I just
That's how
know it's
you
been
know
since
you really quit.
2025. Yep. I just know it's been since 2025. That's it. It was last year, yeah, but still, I don't count it. I don't clock it. I don't miss it. And God really did God's biggest one when that message said, go drink the herbs. Drink the
Yeah.
herbs. They're vivid. I don't miss alcohol because I have every flavor I need. Like it's like walking into a place and it's a candy store. Your herbs literally make every flavor in the world. You
Right.
want a liquor flavor, you throw a couple cloves in something. It's amazing. And it's all God. I was helpless, hopeless. And I
Mm,
just kept saying, well, God, I know you're going to help me. I know you are. I know you are. I'm going to give you what I can. I'm going to fast for a day if I can. I'll stop drinking today. I'll do something. And God seen those little bitty specks of me trying and added that to make me who I am today. I'm just forever sending gratitude for that.
absolutely. That's huge. I mean, really, I can definitely say through a lot of so when I was younger, I stopped drinking for like 10 years. Just throughout like all the years I was like pregnant and having my children. And then when things got very difficult for me, I started drinking wine often, and then it would be like every day, and then like eventually, because my tolerance, like we're not, fully human, so like my tolerance was like really really high already, and I always blessed it and everything, I always placed divine light in it, but then it became like through the more difficult things I experienced, the more I would drink. And then I started kind of combining like some beer or hard alcohol, and then I'd have wine, and it just really got to the point where it was just like I was aware that it really wasn't doing anything great, but it was just like if it definitely felt better than just sitting there feeling all the hurt. And then you feel bad because you don't feel good when you drink. And so I think it's been over a year since I stopped drinking wine. I ended up mellowing out and just having wine like every once in a while, but then I just decided, I was like, I don't want to have alcohol anymore. I want to heal. I want to let go of all this stuff. I just want to be able to cleanse my spirit, my body, everything, and just let go of all of it and heal truly, because holding on and numbing it does nothing. And yeah, so I quit drinking for good. It's been over a year. I don't know how long it's been. I've lost track of time in these past couple years, but I will say, like, it's a really big deal for you to be able to choose your well-being, because especially when you don't really have a lot of people in your corner saying like, I really want you to be healthy and I want you to do this because I care about you. It's like you're literally just doing it because you want to be healthy and you want to be here for the long term for your children. I'm sure is a big factor. And yeah, like I'm just congratulating you, because that's a big deal. That's a
Thank you.
big
Thank you.
step. And
Thank
you
you.
did
And
that.
I'm impressed. For 10 years, I can't wait to be able to say that. Like, I'm going to really feel like the GOAT when I can go for 10 years,
Yeah.
because sometimes I still feel like, okay, but I never, like, I'm not tempted or anything. So I keep that, but 10 years, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It is amazing, but you did already, like you already quit, and it's already been a long time, and you are literally like living proof that it's possible. I just want you
Proof that it's possible in a person that didn't even think it was possible. I had no idea, like, really gambled on it. God, please help me.
well, yeah, because like I said, like you said, it's like you went from being medicated for your gifts, which I did too. Um, I literally was put in a mental hospital when I was like fifth, how old was I? 14, 15, somewhere around there. And I always had spiritual abilities. And I remember I took myself off medication though. Well, I'll tell you. So I was on psychiatric medication, and I got a phone call about a man that did something very terrible to me when I had run away in San Diego. There was more than one, but this was the initial one. And I was a virgin, and he did the worst, besides killing somebody, the worst possible thing. And I ended up getting a phone call. Fast forward, my mom found me. I was at my best friend's house at the time, which her name was Darlene. She was from Haiti. Her mom had six boys and 6 girls. This is when I used to live in San Diego. She found me. My mom found me at Darlene's house, and I was halfway out of my body spiritually. I was numb. I didn't know what to do. I was just not okay. I was okay, but not okay. And I remember, fast forward, I was at my grandma's, and I got a phone call on my grandpa's phone in the garage, and the investigator said they couldn't put him in prison because the girl that I ran away with was a prostitute and I wasn't. Yeah, so I didn't know anything about that world. I didn't know, I was like super innocent back then. So like it was devastating because it's like this man that literally stole my innocence, ravaged my body, like did terrible things. And to hear the words like, yeah, we can't put him in prison, so sorry. And I was just a kid. I mean, I have a 20-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 10-year-old. So like my 13-year-old, like couple years older than him. And it was utterly devastating. And so I was really angry, like really angry, so angry about so many things, but specifically that one, just what happened and like how it all happened. And I started like really drinking and I ran away and I was just, my mom like didn't know how to help me and just so many things. And she just like put me in a mental hospital. So like not only was I like this broken girl who just didn't know what to do or where to turn or how to process, and like there's no justice. Like if there was justice, this motherfucker would be in prison, But like it just was so hard to like wade through and navigate through. And so I remember they put me in a mental hospital and they like put me on so much medication and I hated it. It was horrible. And when they finally let me out, it was like 2 months later. I went through 2 holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And they had strapped me to the table in there when I had anger outbursts. Instead of sitting down and talking to me, they literally tied me with my arms and my legs to a table with straps and injected me with something to make me go to sleep. I literally got put in a padded room. I've never shared this publicly before.
You making me want to go fight. Honestly, ain't gonna lie. My blood is boiling so heavy right now.
I'm sorry. They ended up putting me in a literal padded room when I would have anger outbursts, and I was just saying like I'm fucking mad, like I'm angry, like I don't know what to do with my emotions, and they just like, here, get on this fucking like they literally strapped me to a table, and it was crazy. And then when they finally let me out, I felt no resolve or like, okay, everything feels like it's going to be okay. It was just like, good luck, And so my mom, she just like didn't know how to help me. I started running away a lot, because it was just like, she had no real, just conscious capability, I guess, to just like support me through what I was experiencing. And so through those experiences, it really like formed this, I guess, the way I saw the world. It was like, if people do bad things to you, nothing really happens, And at the time I tried to tell my mom about something else that happened to me when I was little, tried to open up to her, and she's like, are you sure that really happened? And I was like, yes, I'm fucking sure. I literally tried to tell you this my whole life and I couldn't, and now I'm telling you, and now you're like. So it was really, really difficult having that, all these experiences that really like made me numb out and just And I remember like getting to a point where I'm just guided to share this, where I think I was 16. Let me think. Okay. I had been put in a foster home. I got kicked out. I was put in a group home. I got kicked out. Me and a girl named Brittany. Shout out to Brittany Avila if you ever see this. She was like my best friend in both, and we both got kicked out at the same time because we were very rebellious. Rightfully so. And so we just it was just very, very difficult to like process. It was like, okay, first this happened in San Diego, and then I get put in with to try to like go to high school, don't have any help. I'm having anger outbursts. They put me in a mental hospital. They put me on medication. They're telling me to just figure it out and function. The counselors are just like asking me to talk to them and have no real guidance or support or like steps or anything, coping mechanisms. What do I do when I literally don't want to like be here? Like, you know, my mom's just like, sorry that you're hurting, and she didn't know how to help me at that point. And I'm not at all talking bad about my mom. I love her, but she was just not capable of helping me in those years of my life. And so like I remember sitting there. I was about 16. I had been through the foster home, the group home, all the things. I had this bag of pills that they gave me from the doctor in the mental hospital. And I said, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this. Nobody cares. Like, it's whatever. I remember I went out to the garage and I literally tried to hang myself and the rope broke. How? I don't know, because it should have held up to 200 pounds and I was maybe 120. I was so skinny back then. I said, no, I don't want to do this. And I sat down on my bed and I had the whole bag of medication in front of me and I was about to take all of it. And when I tell you, like, I was like, it was like a movie, like I was transported into this whole other realm of consciousness. In front of my eyes, I saw this like screen pop up, like I'm watching a movie, but it's my life. Really happened. And it's like my guides were like, stop. And they literally showed me getting married, me having all of my children, like in different moments, me graduating, like college, me standing on a stage and speaking, like all these different moments of my life, my children like grown up, all these things that I was like, I didn't know what to do, what to say, how to feel. I literally just broke down crying and I heard a voice, and the only way I can describe this voice is the voice of God, creator, creation, literally itself. And the voice said, if you do this now, you will never experience these things.
And then probably left after that, huh?
And
The
now
voice.
I have chills on my whole body right now.
You can't ask questions or nothing. God just talks to you.
No, I'm definitely open to answer them. But yeah, it was like I have literally have chills from the top of my head down my legs. But every moment that I saw that day that has come to pass, like each birth, each like big monument, like milestone moment, I have like been reminded of that moment when I was sitting there about to end this journey. And I've had moments where like my oldest son has almost taken his own life, and I've been guided to tell him about this moment. And like, I'm like, you won't, like, if I had to tell him, like, if you do this, like, you're never going to see if it gets better. You're never going to see if things work out. How are you going to know, you know, what it feels like to be a dad, to get married, to do all these things.
Exactly.
And And it's been a rippling moment in time where it comes back to me so often, where I'm like, it's just every once in a while, but it's always come back where I'm like, you can't explain that. You can't justify or try to ration and reason it out. It's real. And it's like, so when I have moments where I'm like, well, why is this happening? Why is it hard? Or when is it going to get better? I look around and I'm like, look at where you are, and remember where you came from. Like, look how far you've come.
Look how far you have come. Yes, yes.
I just
Even
feel
in a place where you thought
share
you
that.
couldn't. And I'm gonna tell you this: you have a. Whew, I have to breathe before I talk because you have me so tense at points of. Of course, beings like us, we can feel the conversation more than just hear. Honey, that's why I say I'm almost out of breath, like I've been running because the roller coaster of feeling when you said that you were just angry, it was crazy because that's when my blood started just boiling right before that. You have, please, baby, come back. Thank you. I'm doing something.
You're good. No,
Okay.
it's fine.
I was gonna say, I know you know how it is,
Yeah, of
but
course.
but yeah, my blood just boiled. Like I could just feel. I don't know. I feel like only people with lives like that. You have to realize you're exactly where you need to be right now. You're the same way you said as far as like the drinking and things. That's something to be proud of. You making it through all of that, especially as a young person going to a psych ward where other adults are doing things and you don't know if they're allowed to or not. The things that they were doing were awful, actually, probably not allowed, but still, you made it through all of that and to where you are right now. And it's just like that doesn't happen to people. You have to be, when they say God's strongest soldiers, no, you have to be one of God's strongest soldiers to even still be looking towards God after
And have
everything
chosen
like that has happened to you. And that's one thing. And that's one thing that brings us to the top of this world because it didn't matter what happened. I still looked for God because I knew that there was
right.
going to be something for me to do here. And that's how I feel about myself too. I actually I went through being suicidal real bad, actually real bad. And
Same for
I knew.
years.
Yeah, and I had already known, trust me, since I've been a kid. I guess I've been delusional all my life, if we will, but I've known since I was born, I'm going to do something worldwide. And
Yeah.
now I prefer it to be the herbs and the food and the health. You know what I'm saying? But I knew when I was little, like I never, even when we were poor as hell or going to different homes, and some homes there wasn't no food. Some homes we was the burden, and you don't need clothes like this. Wear my daughter old clothes. It was some, and I would be, oh well, I would barely have a breakdown because I would tell them like, yeah, after I leave here, I'm gonna go be famous and rich, and I'm gonna be a singer, dancing actor slash babysitter. I didn't know what was gonna be great, but I knew something was all my life. And like you said, get into those deep and dark places. I had forfeited all that. I said, God, I know I'm here to be great. I know I'm here to do something worldwide, and I don't care anymore. I'm ready to go. And at that point, what God did to me was, okay, since forget it all, you ready to say forget it all? I'll show you a world without your baby in it.
Mm.
How's about that? And I went to this most beautiful place in the world, literally most beautiful place ever. Everything was alive. Everything, I could smell it. I could feel it. And I seen me there. And I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'll get into that. I was just like, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, so, and then I realized I can stay here. But if I stay here, no one protects my daughter.
Yeah.
No one protects her like I will. I told her that what I meant by that was you need the human that is biologically trained and biologically programmed to know when something is wrong with you on this earth. And that's the only thing that kept me here. People say, oh, I never left because of my kid. I literally left. I was not literally go to your dad. She was at her dad's. I didn't want life anymore. I didn't want none of it no more. And I said, all right, God, let's roll. And that was like, wait a minute. Feeling, I had to actually feel leaving the space and going. And that excitement, it was great where I went. But I look back definitely. And now I always tell her, I traded heaven for you and I'll do it every day. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm coming to the point in my life where I'm realizing now that when I'm done, I'm done. You know,
Yeah.
I actually feel personally that I'm here to get this show on the road with this earth. And when I'm done, I'm done. So now I just do, like you said, homeschooling. Homeschooling moms are the GOAT to me. And that's because I'm sorry, I don't want you to know that stuff over there because I knew that stuff over there. I graduated and went to college, and I have done nothing with either of those certificates since I've had them. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
need you to know what you need to know to get back to God. That's what I need you to know.
Right.
Because in any situation, anything in this world happens to you, understand how to talk to God. God will tell you. I even tell my baby, you taking a test for your schoolwork and stuff like that, you don't know the answer. You for God. You will know things you don't know. If you know to talk to God, you can learn and know everything.
I'll
And that's
tell
what I
you,
tell them.
I didn't study nearly enough due to circumstances in nursing school, but I graduated my board exam with an A plus.
Yep, because the infinite wisdom flows connectively, consciously through all of us. It flows like that. And people don't realize, and I tell people all the time, we are the original cell phones. People don't realize
Right.
that. We're the original cell phones. We are the data downloaders. We are the satellite signals. We're pinging off each other. And we have the information.
Yes.
So that's why I tell people all the time, because a lot of people don't like that I homeschool, and they tell she needs to go to school and this and that. And she's consciously connected, and she will be, and she'll be fine. I thought to myself, at this point, she's 11. I'll take my baby and go on. I will take my chances. And she works with me with Honey and Harvest Co. She helps me out, and she has a social life. So I'm happy,
That's
and she's
beautiful.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I admire you taking the steps and just putting her back in homeschool and ignoring people because honestly there's always going to be people that say stuff like that, and realistically it's like you already know in your whole soul like the reasons of why you are having her at home with you. We see blatantly in our face like it's not the safest option to have them go to public school. I
It's
don't
not
trust the
safe at
teacher
all.
to
Yeah,
protect.
it's not safe at all. And then
No.
on top of that, a lot of people can't see what we see. So they
Right.
don't even understand. These kids are going to school. What they're eating is hurting them.
Right.
What they're having to do with their bodies forcefully is hurting them. They can't even stand up. You know how you got to. I was persuaded in school because this is what our teachers would tell us. When you get in college and you're in lecturing classes, then you can stand up and stretch. Here, you sit down to the bell ring. What? Like what? And so,
Not
yeah,
even being able to listen to their bodies.
yeah, and people don't understand one thing about the body. Your body physically starts to wear down
Yeah.
when your mental is doing something that you don't want to do.
Right.
People don't realize that your body literally starts wearing down because it releases defense chemicals at a constant rate and it starts to tear you in half.
Yeah.
So, and people that a lot of people that are consciously connected don't like to work. I was one of those people. I could chase a bag now, but I didn't want to go stand in anybody's place for any time and be controlled. I couldn't
No.
stand there because you wanted me to, and it was literally tearing me apart. And
Yeah.
that's when I got into anatomy and started trying to figure out exactly what was wrong with me. And if the parents that don't want their kids homeschooled, if they would get an anatomy book, they would see exactly why schooling is making the kids terrible. Schooling is turning the kids into people who are offensive, angry. They're scared. They want weapons. You know what I'm saying? And it's not
Gangs.
worth, huh?
Gangs is a big problem in school now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's because children are ample stressed out. They're ample stressed out. You mean to tell me I have to come into this building and sit here for 8 hours while my mom is at home, half dying, struggling with bills, things happening in life. It's a lot going on.
Right.
And I was trashed for a long time. I mean, you wouldn't believe. what people would say about me and what people would say to my daughter about me. And it was just a thing of I had to just hold my head and keep pushing because I'm not going to destroy her because you don't like how I'm taking care of her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going
Yeah.
to destroy her. I'm not going to have her around people that hate each other, the fighting and things going on at these schools. I'm not going to subject her to it because you think it's a good idea. Because what I learned in life about our children is that when you think it's a good idea and someone tells you it's not, and you listen to them, they blame you for whatever happened to the child. You
Right.
know, oh, well, you are a horrible mom. Why would you do that? Well, you argued me down until I did, and I learned. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, I would have to say one of my biggest regrets in going against my inner wisdom and intuition was allowing for my oldest son to get vaccines when he was a baby before I knew consciously all of the reasons of why I felt in my soul not to do it. And then furthermore, doing any vaccines with my youngest son because I did not want to do it. His biological father was like saying, well, just spread them out. Well, this, that, and the other thing. The school was like pushing. Everybody was just trying to force it in that direction. And I knew better. I more than knew better at that point. And I was like, and I wish that I never gave him either one of them any of it. I didn't do them at all for my middle son, the 17-year-old Kai, and I didn't do them at all for my daughter. So, but I would say like that right there, that coercion, that guilt trip, that like just constant trying to force you into something, especially with that. Like I wish that I never did because of so many reasons. But the fact that he had so much regression each time, my oldest son and Felix, my youngest son, like the autism symptoms were just massively amplified. My oldest son ended up with like total loss of most of his gross motor skills when he was a toddler. He went from being like the happiest joyful baby to like just being having tantrums, throwing his head on the ground really hard, like hurting himself physically. Just a lot of really, really difficult stuff that I see even now today. Like he's 20 and even like a week ago he was struggling, but he also made some decisions that were not the best decisions. So it's definitely always going to be something that we have to navigate as mothers, but listening to your soul and intuition, and this is for anybody that's listening, listen to your soul and your intuition. Even though a doctor says, a family member says, a partner says, if your soul says do not do something, please listen to that because it can be a lifelong regret.
A lifelong. Yes, a lifelong. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you even got into vaccines and things like that because you want to know one word America doesn't listen to when it comes to doctors? Practicing. They don't listen to the word practicing.
Mm-hmm.
This doctor is they have to understand that the human body is infinite in the way the Most High built it. There is no way that this that works for you works for her, him, them, and they, and though, and that. And I'm gonna tell you this. As far as the vaccines go, this is one thing. My daughter, and I'll tell you, she wasn't vaccinated. People, she didn't have certain vaccines, and people around her, older people, were, yo, mama, she should have did that. She should have did that. She should have did this. And my daughter was so proud of me when I got a job, right, at the biggest hospital in town. They were ready to roll. They wanted, go ahead, you just go do your screening and everything. And they started telling me, but you just got to take these vaccines and this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm an herbalist. I kind of have my own vaccination thing that and I can waive those, right? And they're like, some of them, but you can't waive some of them. So I started to ask them. I wanted it to make sense to them. So I started saying to them, so these vaccines, they're alive, correct? Yeah, they're alive. They're alive, correct? They're conscious, is what you're telling me. That in order to be vaccinated from certain things, the vaccination has a being that is alive and ready to attack a certain part of your body. Whether you want to call that a micro being or whatever you want to call it, these vaccines are called live because they have verified live other beings in them. You get what I'm saying? So I asked them, would you wear another person's face to work at a job? They said, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Would you put somebody else's facial skin on so that you can protect your regular face while you work a job? They said, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to put another live being into a live being. That's what doesn't make any sense, because someone has to win here. You know what I'm saying? Someone has to control the host here. And it's not always the person. Like you said, when you were saying that his symptoms started to get bad. Luckily, over the years, these beings die once you fight long enough, you know. But yeah, somebody has to control this host. And you're not promising me that it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and after I sat there and I had that conversation in that hospital and realized that this hospital actually has started opening up spirituality classes to understand the people that don't take the vaccines and things like that. I was like, okay, so you all are aware of this. The doctors, the people, y'all are aware of this. Y'all are aware that we can waive these things being spiritual because you know they are harming us way more than they're helping us.
Did you end up?
And you know what I did? I didn't work the job
Good for you.
because I can't stand in here. And no offense to any nurses or doctors, because guess what? We can talk crazy all day about a vaccine, but we're going to run to them when we have an emergency. We're going to run to them when we need some help. And amen, thank you. I hope y'all help us. But when it comes to trying to force us to make life decisions when we're perfectly fine, you gotta wonder what that's about. Like, what do you need me? What do you need my body to do to work here?
Right.
And you know, of course they were telling me, you know, obviously this is a building full of sick people. You need extra protection. What does that do when I go home?
Right.
I don't live here. And most jobs and places are trying to set you up to completely be the person that they're comfortable with 24/7 rather than having your own self and disturbing them when you come to them.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I became a nurse and I waived I was able to waive all the waivers. But my whole guides, everyone was like, you can't stay here.
Get out.
Yeah, and they like literally like forced it to where I had to leave, and it literally, I was just talking to someone very close to me. She's I haven't announced her publicly yet, but she's my partner. I was just talking about about this with her, and I was like, I literally was taking out trash in patients' bedrooms and like cleaning genitals and like all kinds of like really, really like beautiful tasks for taking care of other people, but also like, I'm not supposed to be doing this kind of work. Like I'm supposed to be doing something so much more. And this is a beautiful work. This is a beautiful job. I had a lot of beautiful moments. I learned a lot. But I was like, I was literally taking trash out, and I heard my guide saying, do you really want to be spending your time and energy on doing this when you could be doing what you're supposed to be doing here? And she was kind of laughing at me like they were roasting you a little bit. I was like, yes, they were. But the thing is like I don't regret it, and I am grateful I had that experience, because again, I had a lot of really, really humbling, beautiful experiences that I will carry with me forever. Like one of those things I would say is being around elderly people or people who are chronically ill that are going to die in that space, can never get up and just go for a walk again outside, can never have another holiday with their family outside of there, can never get to go on vacation just because they want to go somewhere in the world, and just so many different things that it really taught me, like, to cherish life even more. So even when I've had hard moments that have really rocked me to my core, it's okay. I I always reflect back on, like, I see them like my higher self shows me them in bed, and knowing that some of them aren't even alive anymore and the other ones are just there forever. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, source. Thank you, creator, that I can literally walk on this beach, that I can touch the water, that I can experience this life with my children, that I can literally just do whatever I want, whenever I want, and however I want. And what a blessing. Like, what a monumental blessing all of this is. That's why even when things get really hard, I'm like, okay, I have to remember, to take all of this and just take it in stride and remember my blessings. Remember, it's going to be okay. I'm not there. I'm not in that kind of space. I'm free. I'm out here. I'm okay. And I send love to them, and I just remember, like, count your blessings, because things could be a lot harder and they're not. So
Yeah. Yeah, and I like that. I like and I'm gonna tell you that listening to you, I feel that's the main reason you had to leave that hospital, because your gratitude would be stumped. Not your gratitude, but the way that, see, people don't realize you can see and you can feel. And only people like us really understand what I mean when I say that. Not this, so when a person is in a distress, for instance, I used to try to do tarot because I get messages all the time. So I used to try to do it, and I would get the messages across and have to lay down for like days. I would have to be asleep for days.
And trying to release all the stuff that you probably accidentally took on from their reading.
Days, literally. My baby and her dad had this thing where he would call her, "What your mama doing? Sleep?" "Yep, she sleep." Knocked out, because I would be getting the messages. I would be getting what you need, and it's killing me.
And how much did you get paid? Like maybe $30-$60?
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, it was crazy, and that's how I knew what it was doing to me, because I was poor as dirt and didn't want the money. Like, no, I can't do that for you. Like,
I'm saying this because I'm raising my hand to say, been there for many, many years, did all of that, got way underpaid, and was exhausted spiritually and mentally and physically afterwards, for so many days afterwards. And people are like, for what?
for what? For what? For what? I'm telling you. And it's crazy, because that's why, like, and I'm gonna say, a lot of the messages I get on TikTok and things like that, they're still realistic to me. They're still good, and I love to listen. But I'm just thinking to myself, when I see a person, their page has like 74 different individual tarot stories in the last 3 hours. Oh no, there's no way you're alive. Like, or either you're not. I don't know. So I just, like, yeah, that's a thing that you, as far as the hospital, and as far as that, I felt, and you saying than me, we know we feel way too much to be feeling other people's feelings. And America designed the hospital to be a place where people go when they need a pick me up after they have done what they can to take care of themselves. And we've turned the hospital into a place that we go to for emotional support. We go to the hospital for free food. We go to the hospital to go to sleep. That's like, not we as people, but that's what America has started to kind of turn it into, which is what turned the knob up on needing the vaccinations and needing the this and needing the that, because it's getting to the point where a lot of people in America are taking their health so not seriously that the live being in your vaccine will do better for you than being out in this world without it. And that's sad, right? And it's scary. And that's what will turn this place into hell, because we're losing. What we're doing is we're losing God. We get into the point where, and that's why I say doctors and nurses are amazing, but now we playing like they God.
Yeah.
Now we're playing like they're God. Like God says, everything that we need is here already.
Yeah, it's
here already. Yeah. Earth, we were the humans. Earth was the starter pack.
Right.
And now we don't know what to do with it. And
Mm-hmm.
so now we take the nurses and the doctors and we drain them like a dish rag over things like hemorrhoids and a star on your eye. And you know what I'm saying? And what happens is it takes energy from you that you can't afford to give to other people.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that was definitely the thing of you. You have such a soul on you, if I say it that way. Like you have such a soul, you have such a vibration, and it's a healing energy. I don't know if you realize it, but well, I'll just tell you later when I'm speaking to you. But you have a healing energy, and there are things that you're saying during this live, well, not live, but during this recording, and those things are things that new me loves that little girl me still hears you say right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you this in the voice, in the tone that you have, and you really can heal people. I always tell people, Icez and heal through herb words and wisdom. You really heal people
Thank
through
you.
the tone of your voice. There are things simply that we've talked about just since we've started talking, and you've lightly said, "I'm proud of you." At one point, when you first said that, I'm just like, I had to keep a straight face because people don't say that. Like people don't say
Um,
that. I never heard that as a kid, and it was almost weird at first. Like, wait, what? I almost, what did you say?
I am
That's what I
proud. I
almost
mean
did
it.
because, and so yeah, I feel like that'd be your reason to not be in a hospital. You have a world to reach, and you can't do that with the walls up.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that very very big, and just for from me to you, I am genuinely proud of you because I can see you've been doing this for so long, and it's like so many of us have had this like really lonely journey.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
to look like really, really like truly from my heart and soul, like to to pick yourself back up and say, I don't want to hurt me anymore. I want me to be healthy, even though I'm just trying to find like a big enough thing I can grab onto outside of just my child or my children that keeps me anchored here because I need to see like what is all this for and why was it so hard?
yeah,
Because it's like when you go through so much hard shit, it just keeps feeling like every time you turn around, it's something else and something else. And so it's like, when is it going to get better? And then eventually, when you numb out or you drink alcohol or whatever you have to do to like just feel anything better than what it was feeling, like it's like it when you for you to get to a point for you to say, I want to heal me, and that's it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna listen. I'm gonna take the steps. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna find a way. That's a really big deal.
thank you. Yeah,
It
it is, and
is,
it's a scary one too. But
because you don't know who you're gonna be because all you've ever been is what you were. But
yeah.
now look at you where you're at now.
Yeah. And you know
And
what I find crazy? As I was setting up for this, I don't know what happened. Either my phone was on, a song was on, something happened. And I just giggled and I said, God, I still feel the joy that I thought I was only feeling because I was drunk.
yeah,
I get dopamine blast without liquor. And I was like, wow. I started to really notice that actually today. Like, I really still be getting dopamine blasts. Like, I still am happy and euphoric. And I never thought that was something that came out of my natural self. I thought that was definitely liquor induced, you know?
it just let you feel it more because it made your brain be quiet enough for you to actually be your silly self and your goofy self and your fun self. But
Yeah.
realistically, it was always there. And I know I felt that too. That's why I would drink wine, is because I was like, maybe I just want to feel happy for a little while and be silly and
Yeah.
goofy and make jokes and whatever. But the thing is like, it is real. It does happen. And I'm experiencing it too. Like last night, even though I was like really emotional yesterday when I woke up and I was going through all kinds of deep shifts, last night it was like 3 a.m. and I was giggling and laughing and making jokes. And I was like, I'm so sober and this is like so silly. Like I'm laughing over the stupidest stuff right now. And it was so great. And I was like,
It's
wow.
great.
Wow. I've
It
had people
is.
accuse me of smoking weed because they're like, okay, you're definitely high right now. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm literally not. I'm so sober. I'm just actually goofy and I feel happy for a moment and it's nice.
I slick love that. I ain't gonna lie, I slick love that because anytime I go live, like people like, "Yeah, you high, Bill, enjoy you," and I be like, and I love it because that is our sign.
It's a
I was
compliment.
great anyway. I was great anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't the alcohol that was doing it. It
Right.
wasn't the weed that was doing it. It wasn't none of that. I was great anyway, and I'm still so much of the person I thought I lost that
Yes.
y'all think I'm drunk or I'm, you know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love that because it just shows me that it shows me how hard people like us, even with the drinking and things, it shows me how hard we fight to still be authentic, even when we have things in our bodies that are altering our brain chemistry, still fighting to be our authentic self and who God told us to be. Because
Right.
like I said, once we quit, wow, I am still happy like this. I am still, that's a beautiful feeling. Like it's so beautiful to feel
It took
that.
a while, but we got here.
Definitely. Oh, and it's long time coming.
Yes. Many, many, many years in the works.
Long time coming.
I'm
But
grateful for this.
yes, and every step of the way, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
I had the